We are rolling.
Okay. This video is for instructional and training purposes only. Not all of the safety procedures required are included in this video. It's mainly just provide instruction on maintenance procedures on rooftop unit, Voyager rooftop unit. So rooftop units, all the units that you have here are basically set up similar. This is your control cabinet. This is where incoming power is coming in. It's your disconnect for the unit. Anytime that you're going to perform any kind of service, get into the unit, do any kind of work on it, you want to be sure that you open up the disconnect. Preferably you want to lock it out and tag it out if you're working on it. Contained in this cabinet, all the high voltage controls. Basically on the left hand or on the right hand side. On the left hand side is your low voltage components. Located down beneath are your compressors underneath this panel. Normal maintenance, you guys really shouldn't be into any of this area here. This is for service personnel only. Back here, further back on the unit, we have the supply fan, motor, and it's belt driven. We have adjusters down below. This is to adjust belt tension. It will have to be checked periodically, about every 3 months on a quarterly basis. You want to come up here and shut the unit down, check your belts. You want to check tension on the belts. You also want to check the pulleys. Make sure that these pulleys aren't getting too grooved. Over time, these will actually wear grooves into the shivs, the motor shivs or the pulleys. Once they start doing that, you're going to start eating up belts. Your belt life will be greatly reduced. It's your evaporator coil. We use thermal expansion valves on the coil. Gives us greater efficiency and better control. Next compartment back here is going to be your filter section. You're using 2-inch pleated filters back here. These you want to check these at least on a quarterly basis. You're going to be, how often you need to change them is going to depend upon your environment. If you got a lot of construction going on, you may actually need to change them more than once a quarter. What I really suggest you do, just starting out, is keep a close eye on them, monitor them. They start getting dirty, you definitely want to change them. These units have capability of economizing. When the temperature drops down below 50 degrees or so outside, based on temperature and humidity, we will allow this unit to economize, bring in outside air to cool off the building. When it does go into economize mode, these are your return air dampers. These dampers will start to close down. Dampers up on top will actually start to open up. You'll be bringing in air from outside.
Does that happen automatically?
It will. It will.
The swap over to the economizer mode, does that happen automatically?
Yes, it will. The unit has an outdoor air sensor back here in the back of it, and it will look at outdoor air temperature. Unit also monitors outdoor barometric pressure through the sensor located up on the top up there, and we use that to control building pressure. Back here in the back, this is your intakes for fresh air. When you go into economize mode, you also have most likely you'll have a minimum outside air position, or in milder conditions you'll be pulling in a percentage of outside air. These are mist eliminators up here. These are designed just to catch the big stuff coming in from the outdoor air. You'll also want to keep an eye on these. So after some period of time, these will collect a lot of dirt and debris on them. These are actually washable filters. You'll be able to pull this rail off along the back here, remove those filters, and then wash them out with a water hose. No, you don't need any kind of a cleaner on them. Just wash them from the back side to the front side.
So no more normal pressure of the water?
Those are really the only serviceable areas for you guys of the unit that are internal to the unit. The other issue, a big issue, a maintenance item, is going to be the condenser coils. We'll walk around this way. Behind these panels are your condenser coils. These hell guards will come off. They will need to be removed, and these condenser coils will need to be washed from time to time. Most likely, probably twice a year. They say once a year, but in Texas with all the cottonwood and stuff flying around, good luck with that. Also, my experience, it's best if you wait till about mid-June, because that's when the cottonwood actually stops flying. If you clean them off before then, you'll be doing it again later. So I catch them then, and then catch them sometime in the late fall, possibly. Like that. You want to use, we don't recommend any kind of a detergent cleaner on them. Recommend using straight water only. They really prefer that you wash them from the backside out. You can remove that panel in the compressor section, but it's pretty difficult. You can actually do a good cleaning job. If you have a lot of built-up material on them, what I recommend doing is using a brush on it and brushing that stuff off, and then using a water hose on it. If you just go putting a water hose on it, you're going to push the stuff into the coil.
Do we have a spigot up here somewhere?
Yes, right behind the door, right there. No chemical cleaners. Problem with chemical cleaners is they will leave a residue. It takes a tremendous amount of water to get all of that residue off, and if you don't get it cleaned off, then that will actually leave deposits on the coil itself, and it will reduce the efficiency of it.
So it wouldn't hurt to have this on a regular basis, just because we got time to.
I'll tell you, due to the unit location down here being walled in, you're gonna get a lot of stuff come in, and it's gonna stick right in here. These are probably gonna get more dirty than if they were exposed. So yeah, anything that comes up here is gonna come right down in here and be sucked in. So I would definitely pay close attention, especially on this particular unit.
All right, and roll.
Okay, we're continuing on. This is going to be a portion on the fan-powered boxes. You have multiple fan-powered boxes scattered throughout the building. These are actually what's going to supply your heat in the wintertime. Each one of these boxes consists of a set of electric heat strips and a fan motor. Also, the only maintenance issue you're going to have on these, you're going to have a filter in the box. They may vary in size depending upon the size of the box. But the only maintenance issue really you have will be inspecting those filters and changing those on an as-needed basis. Typically, they require less changing because it's only going to draw air through that filter when it's in heating mode. It will not be pulling any air through that filter when it's in cooling mode. Sure.
And rolling.
Okay, Trane condensing unit for a split system. You have several of these up here. Maintenance issue on these is going to be keeping the condenser coil clean. You have a spiny fin coil up underneath here. You want to check that on a regular basis and wash it out as needed. Of course, before you perform any of that type of activity on this unit, you want to be sure and kill the disconnect. Kill the disconnect, perform your service. Be sure you turn the disconnect back on.
And we're rolling.
Okay, you have 3 air handlers for your split system units. This is one of the air handlers. If you're above, really the only maintenance issue you have with these is going to be changing the filter on a regular basis, checking it and changing it as needed.
You say 3 months?
Usually on a quarterly basis, depends on the environment. But usually a quarterly basis, you do pretty good, unless you have an excess amount of dust and particulates in there.
And rolling.
In your vestibules, you're going to have a fan coil heater or cabinet heater. Located each one of them consists of a fan motor and a set of electric heat strips. Each one of these is controlled by a thermostat mounted in the interior zone. That's the thermostat right there.
You know, those are temporary.